Okay, hi and welcome to Phoenix TV. We've got a little bit of an extra for you. Talking to the fans and letters that Neil got in a few weeks ago was to try and get an event where we could play catch up, find out what's happened, what's going to happen and how things are. So we didn't manage that, but what I've got tonight is I've got Neil and Coach Hand on the couch, and we're going to go through a few things and just put people's minds at rest and look to the future and the cup finals and things. So I'll start off with you, Neil. Cup final, Thursday night. Excited?
Yeah, I think it's exciting times for us. I think we stand a good chance. I think on any night, we're a good team. I think don't really want to go there with it, but it'd be nice to have a full team because I think we'd feel a little bit more confident. But having said that, we've played with different formats of players this year, and some nights we've been outstanding, Jim. So. And I think for us this is probably a good one because, greatest respect meant Telford think they've already got it in the bag. They're a strong team, they're a good team, they've got great depth. And I think, we're just this final small obstacle that they need to pass before they get that fantastic cup that's come over from America, I think, with it, again, without being rude, I think that's a fantastic piece of silverware. It'll be a great shame if they have to give it to us.
Coach, it's the first time in the EPL history that we've actually made the cup final. We've been in the semi-final every year since we joined the league. Though we had two cup finals 9 years ago against Belfast. It'll be a first time for a lot of the players in the squad. Everybody up for it?
Yeah, I think everyone's excited about it, Tambo. I think I know in a one-off or two games, our team is capable of beating any team in the league. We know it's going to be tough. Telford have proven they're the best team in the league this year, obviously with the record. So we're under no illusions we're going to have a tough game. But every time I've seen our guys, when we had a big game, they've all showed up. So if they all show up, it's going to be a fantastic final.
Well, we've been stricken with a few injuries throughout the months this season. Any news on the squad for tomorrow night?
Well, obviously Luke's out for the season. He's sort of re-injured his injury. He's been out for nearly half the season anyway. But we were trying to get him back. But obviously it's just it was a bridge too far to get him back. Yeah. And Surney is probably touch and go right now whether he's going to play. He's been out with a lower body injury for the last couple of weeks, but hopefully he might be back. But we'll see how it is in the pre-game skate.
Neil, a lot of rumblings around and the way tickets have gone and things like that. How's it looking for the crowd for tomorrow night?
Well, it's looking reasonable actually. I mean, we've of all the things in the world, I met a couple of fans while I was buying groceries, would you believe it or not, only a couple of days ago. And one of them was a little bit frosty with me and said, I don't like you doing the Groupon stuff. I don't think it's fair. I don't think you should be doing it. And it's funny because I said to him, well, listen, if this club doesn't get new customers, if we don't get new blood in the club, there won't be ice hockey. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to mince words. We need new customers and we need them desperately. And it doesn't matter where you go. In minority sports, Jim, most people start by coming on discounted tickets or free tickets, and most people who talk about the Storm and the Storm days all came on a free ticket who are there now. And we don't have the magnetism of Manchester United and Manchester City here in Manchester. So people aren't just going to come and see us. They're going to need to stop doing something else and give something else up to come and see us. So, we've got to do these things. And I think also it's a good night when you get the Phoenix faithful in there, all the drums, all the noise, and you get new people. And what better night for new people to come and look at the sport?
I think, as I say, with even myself and Neil and the players, we unbelievably appreciate how well our main base of fans are every weekend. They're fantastic. But as Neil is right, we do need new people coming in there on a regular basis to try and compete with the likes of the Telfords and Guildford. And the only way we can do that is creating new people coming in. So as I say, we really appreciate what the fans do because they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they are fantastic.
But we do need to be pushing it for this final.
In fact, they're probably, and we should say this more often, Jim, without being funny, they're probably the best fans in the league. You know what I mean? And I think two clubs so far have voted our fans as the best fans in the league at their award ceremonies. So we know we've got fantastic fans. It's as Tony said, if we're going to compete and we're going to survive, we need new blood and we need to grow the club. And I think that's the only way, unfortunately.
Right, before we move on to other things like next year's structure and things like that, Coach, this season, your thoughts on it overall?
I think as an entertainment, I think we've been fantastic entertainment. Sometimes the results haven't went their way. At home, I think we've been really good. Apart from an odd game where we probably never played as good. But I think, as I say, what was frustrated this year is that we keep going on about injuries. I don't want to keep going on about it because everyone just thinks everyone goes through it. But I think we've lost about, as you say, about nearly 80 games to players this year. And we've never really had a balanced team. And at the start of the year, we were playing this crossover game. We were playing one game, then we were playing the crossover, then we were playing one game. And then we just never really got that balance right. And then the injuries started occurring, and eventually we were just. Sometimes I'm actually amazed we've actually managed to win with the squad we've put out there. If the truth be known. Yeah. So, of course, I think even if I had a full team, I think we would probably finish in third or fourth. We would have been great because obviously I think as I say, I think Telford are strong and Guildford, but I think we would easily have been probably in the top 3 or 4. But in hindsight, every team could probably has a little their problems. But as I say, I'm not really looking for, my whole thing now is focusing on the cup and the playoffs. What went on behind in the season is irrelevant now. All I want to do is make sure we do well in the final and get to Coventry and win it.
Right. Next season, I mean, a lot of the European leagues, they've half finished their recruiting already, which means that players are starting to come onto the market. Are we getting people coming in already?
We've had a lot of inquiries already. I mean, Manchester's, everyone you speak to, has got a great reputation to play, even in Britain and abroad. And we will have a lot of inquiries over the next 2 or 3 months. But like I say, we have to sort of look at where we finish this year, how we're going to strengthen the team, and we need to strengthen the team. And obviously, you get players who you'd like to have back, and you get players who say, "Look, I've got a better offer. I'm going to go play here." So you're always so until that actually happens, you need to sort of focus on what you can only do this year, and do the best this year. And then we'll start making signings over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and get ready for next year.
Right, Neil, this brings us on to the league itself. We all know that a 9-team league's not been ideal for all sorts, like you said about the crossover cup and the difficulties that brought, with lines, etc. You just had a meeting not too long ago. Anything you can tell us?
Well, you know what? I actually had a look earlier on at the minutes that have been sent out, and I'm really surprised that they've not embargoed one of the big things that's been said and that nobody else has said it. I'm probably, as usual, Jim, going to get in a right load of trouble. But we're going to have an even number of teams next year. There is a new team joining the league, and we'll be back to 10 again. So that's what we're told. Either that or possibly Guildford are going to drop out and we'll be back to 8. But we'll have an even number of teams.
Now, aren't you?
He's only joking about Guildford there.
Mr. Hepburn, we're only kidding, I promise. Right, you heard that from Neil Morris, by the way. The coach and I had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
It will be an even number of teams, Jim,
right,
which I think suits us
and Guildford,
better.
I'm pretty sure Guildford. Pretty sure Guildford will be here.
Okay, Neil, thanks very much for that. Season tickets. We're getting a lot of questions now coming up on the forums, etc. Other clubs are putting them out. Are ours on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Jim, we put our season tickets on sale the same time every year, and we're going to do the same this year. I mean, they would normally go on sale at the weekend, but as I think this programme will probably go out tomorrow, we're going to put ours on sale tonight. How's that?
That's fine. Mags's phone better not be off the hook then.
No, you know, it's a difficult one. Some people say to us, can they be put on sale earlier? We could put them on the sale from the beginning of March. It wouldn't make any difference. All the money that's collected from season tickets with Manchester goes into what's known as an escrow account anyway. So all the money's safe. If people say to us, what happens if the team didn't play? Well, we've played for 10 years. We're unlikely to stop. There's been some difficult times. This has probably been our most difficult year, very difficult year. And we've said 1,000 times, without the supporters club and everybody else jumping in, it would be tough times for us. But we would have made our mind up a long time ago if we weren't going to play next season. So the season tickets will be on sale, no problem.
Right, Coach. Normally this question comes out when we've got everybody in the front looking at you, waiting to see what you're going to do. Your future for next season, playing, coaching, or what?
To be honest, over the last few months I've been speaking with Neil regarding what the best route to take. And obviously, I'm getting to that stage. I think I've squeezed every last drop of sweat out in my whole body. So I won't be playing next year. I'll be retired at the end of this year. So that's why I want to have a great end of the season, because as I say, theoretically probably only about 8 games left, and I'm going to concentrate on doing obviously off ice and obviously coaching and helping Neil with the business and helping the club in other ways, because I think the job is it's too big and it's too hard to do all the jobs, and then you're playing and you're maybe not, you're coaching not as good as maybe what you should be, because you're concentrating on your own game or concentrating on seeing something else on ice. And I think it's come to that time that we've spoken about this for a few years, but I think if I had to come and play next year, I think I'd be even slower than I was this year. So I think this will be my final season.
So no, I think there's probably more to it than that, in fairness to Tony as well, in the fact that we're trying to look at the bigger picture now of the junior system and how players are coming up, and whether we form an academy and whether we run with academy players on the squad training with us. And I think it just needs a lot more focus, Jim, and that's what I'm asking Tony to do. And if he's going to need that much time and effort, then really I have to be fair and let him just coach the youngsters and the Premier
plus
team.
You do. I mean, if the truth be known, there should have been years if because of the way the development in the league has been, the older players have managed to hold on to their positions. So we've actually done a decent job. But I think there has to come a time that, like I say, it's easy for me to say it now that I'm retiring, but you've got to give the younger guys a chance. And I'm probably being a little bit hypocritical there, because obviously we're doing their best to win. But at the same token, though, you have to give that opportunity for these young guys to come through, and they will get the opportunity. And we've played consistently. We've played our 3 lines, and juniors come through. Well, a couple of younger guys playing regularly, and that will bode well for the future for Manchester. But it will take a little bit of time to do. And then hopefully, with me just coaching next year, it'll give me a lot more time to actually give coaching to the players, and I think that's could obviously benefit the club in the long run.
Right, well, you heard it here then, folks. You've got about 8 games to see the Great One play. Then you're missing it. So that's what we need. We need them all coming down here. Even you guys down south, go along and see him. It might be the last time you'll see him play.
They'll be thankful of that.
They'll be thankful of it for other reasons, though, Coach. Mm-hmm. Right, really, that just leaves us the pinnacle of the season for a lot of people, certainly for a lot of fans. The league's important, it's a long haul, but the players our fans' chance to celebrate and enjoy and meet up. So it is important for everybody. It's going to be difficult this year, though, isn't it?
You're talking about playoffs, aren't you? Mm-hmm. You're going to say at some point playoffs.
I think it's going to be this is going to be the toughest year ever to try and get there. I think. Yeah. Obviously, I'm confident we can get there. But I don't think it's not one of these ones that you could say, well, you're a guaranteed spot. I don't think there's any team is probably guaranteed right now to go there. It's who shows up in the 2 games, and it's, as I say, how your goaltender plays. Is your forwards hot? Is your D getting strong? So there's a lot going on there, and I think it's going to be extremely tough. But obviously, nothing we want more, and obviously, from myself and Neil and the team, is to be at Coventry that weekend. So we'll be in sweat and blood to get there.
Yeah, and let's be honest as well, Tony, this is probably, I think we've all looked at this since the beginning of the season, forget injuries and things. This is probably the strongest league that it's ever been in the 10 years. It's the teams are formidable this year, and it's like there will not be a day past. Whoever we get picked against, wherever we finish, whatever happens, that team is going to be very difficult to get past, and they're going to want to be there just as much as us. And I think this is where we'll then pull on what we have in that locker room.
Yeah, I think hopefully our experience, we've been in this situation since every year I've been here. I think we've made Coventry every year, so touch wood, we'll make it again this year. But as Neil said, this is the best league so far that we've been a part of.
Just so everybody knows, this is the point when the pressure starts to pinch everybody, yeah? Because of what's happened to us this season, we've had a lot of practice games under masses of pressure where Tony said, to be fair, we shouldn't have won with the squad that we put out there. So the pressure on the boys in that room with such short bench was immense. And I think we've got good experience in there on these situations. So when we get to play in these playoff games, I think we'll handle it a lot better than a lot of others. I think we'll come out the traps well, and I think we'll be up for it. And it's as he said, there's nothing more him and I want than to finish this year off at Coventry.
Oh no, it'd be great to sit there in front. It was like even last year. Well, I know we got pipped last year, but even being in the final last year and the one at the previous year, we've been there every year, and it's great to see the fans, because I know they take a lot of time and effort and obviously money to get there to see us. So as you say, that's what we play for, to get to Coventry. So we'll be doing everything we can to do that.
Well, there'll be over 400 offering sacrifices to the hockey gods to make sure we do as well.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Right, well, that just about covers everything really that the fans have been asking, that you guys have wanted to say, and I'm sure it's enlightened a few people and maybe bring some positive comments. But the things that I'm taking out of it really is, one, let's get behind the team for the rest of the season, as you have done. Let's turn up on force and make sure that we can get them through, and let's enjoy them and then get to Coventry.
There is one secret that you mustn't tell anybody. We have a very special opening sequence for tomorrow night. So anybody that remembers being Sons of the Storm, watch that.
So there you go. That was before my time, that. But get there early tomorrow night if you want a wee surprise.